there.
Did you think yesterday was fun?
So I wanted to ask you about this. I'm just going to pull something. I know you get mad. You get mad anytime
Whatever
I
you wanna
reference.
do. I don't care what you
reference
do.
a big sports podcast.
I don't care what you do. Go ahead.
Well, let me get the Pod Save America one off here. So the Bill Simmons podcast, it says Crazy NFL Trade Deadline was the title. And I'm thinking to myself, was it crazy? Like, yes, Sauce Gardner was a 2-time Pro Bowler. Kind of fell off the last 2 years, if we're being honest, right? And then who's the next biggest name?
Quinnen Williams.
Quinnen Williams? Is that a crazy deadline? Like,
That's a pretty strong deadline considering who made the moves for him.
Okay,
I think that's a pretty crazy
that's
deadline.
fine, but the Ravens, they're competing for a championship. What did they do? They brought in ho-hum. I think they made their Draymond Jones trade.
Draymond Jones.
I think they made that on Monday.
Okay.
Whatever. I just don't. If this is crazy, then we have wildly overrated the NFL trade deadline. If that's considered crazy.
Wait a damn minute. You don't think 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner's crazy at the trade deadline?
I just don't. I don't think a corner. When I think crazy, I think of those past NBA trade deadlines.
But it's the price that's been given up.
The NFL doesn't do things.
When the power shifted. Well, that's the thing. We were told that with all the new young GMs in this league, some of them admiring like the NBA and the way they do business, and the NFL was going to get more progressive in their trades. Andrew Berry has done some pretty progressive trades, actually. But I was told that this was going to be the future of the NFL, that teams would take bigger swings.
It's not, but this is a big swing. What are you talking about? This isn't a big swing.
The Colts
giving up 2 first-rounders for Sauce Gardner isn't a big swing.
So does this change the Colts' win total for the season?
Yes, and
No, it doesn't. It didn't. It didn't.
Well, hold on.
Vegas didn't change anything.
Let me go back
about
to this.
That number.
Okay, you're right. You're possibly right. Hold on. I said yes too soon. I apologize. Let me go back to this though. I think you're misunderstanding. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I'm just going to say, do the Colts have a franchise quarterback right now?
No.
So it's kind of crazy that they've traded 2 first-round picks.
That's the issue
without having the franchise quarterback and not trading for the franchise quarterback.
But were people sitting there in front of their TV with their jaw agape over Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner? I just don't think they were. I don't think those are big enough names.
Hold on. See, you got to make the right comparison here. I look at trades like I do when people sell their house in the neighborhood or something like that. Like you sit down and like Owen is Mr. Avon Lake. And nobody would ever think Owen would ever leave Avon Lake. I mean, guys, I told you, I went at Friday Night Touchdown. Everybody was saying hi to Owen. I was standing right next to him. No one said anything. It was amazing to see. He runs Avon Lake. It's a beautiful thing. I'm very proud of Owen. Very proud of Owen. You're in Bay Village. Who the hell knows what you do? I don't even know if you talk to your neighbors. I'm very excited to still be in Streetsboro. Mm-hmm. But when you're in a neighborhood and somebody sells their home and you go, they got that much for that? Like, come on, you don't sit there with your wife and go,
I guess I'm thinking more the player than what was given up. Like in the NBA last year trade deadline, Luka Doncic, one of the top 3 players in the NFL. You don't get one of the top 3 NFL players traded
with Blockbuster. Those are different things.
Yeah, I'm talking from an entertainment perspective. I just don't think that's that entertaining to sit by the TV and watch.
This is not about entertainment. This is about craziness.
Watch the insiders all day. Do I think the power, the balance of power has shifted in the NFL? Because that actually has happened in the NBA.
That trade happened in the middle of the night.
Pau Gasol has gotten traded, at the trade deadline. You have seen James Harden,
You're
Kevin
wanting
Durant.
them to be 50 years down the road on this
Wait
thing.
a minute, didn't it? Yeah, hold on. It just basically started these type of moves at the trade deadline. The second thing, it did or did not, the Luka Doncic trade happen overnight. It happened in the middle. I woke up to it on a Sunday morning, right?
For a trade deadline,
but
you had nothing remotely resembling that over the last. Give them a week. Give each deadline a week then, and tell me how entertaining that was yesterday. I think that's a big dud.
How many
I think
trades?
that's a bunch of Z's.
No, I'm not going to compare it to the Luka Doncic trade. The Luka Doncic trade was much bigger, but this is a big trade.
Think about it. This is why this was a dud of a trade deadline, and almost all of them are in the NFL.
NFL is always going to be a dud of a trade deadline.
Right. So Owen agrees.
No, it is because you want them to trade today, and then tomorrow Sauce boss needs to be on the field.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the NBA. They can trade on Saturday night and then on Sunday
it happened this year. Joe Flacco.
Trading Luka Doncic is the equivalent to like trading Justin Herbert in the middle of the season.
And I'm saying
like,
the NFL doesn't do that.
Of course you wouldn't do that.
Well, and of course the NFL trade deadline sucks. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't suck.
So think about it this way.
Suck?
For this to be a big trade deadline, was a superstar traded? No. Okay, there's 32 teams. How many superstars are there in the NFL?
You're not.
There's so many of them. Second of all, balance of power. Did it shift in the NFL?
Right, talk faster.
No.
That'll fix it.
0 for 2, Kenny. Your trade deadline sucks. Stop trying to stick up for your bad sport.
Very easy over there.
You're going to be in timeout for a couple minutes.
It wasn't that angry to get over. You're not hearing what Owen and I are saying.
Go ahead.
When a move like that is made, like the Sauce Gardner move like that is made, again, you're in your neighborhood. You're nice. I don't want to move. Moving sucks. And then you go, they got that much for that? I go, so you're telling me all I got to do? I'm like, wait, all I got to do is slap a coat of paint over here on the living room and I could get, I get more than that. Like, that's the thing, is everybody else in the NFL, teams that are like borderline or teams that are like the Browns, I think the vast majority of Browns fans are gearing up for a rebuild. I think the Browns themselves are still trying to, we kind of made peace with the whole Miles ain't going nowhere. Denzel ain't going nowhere.
That would have been. That would have been a crazy entertaining trade.
Hold on. We all made peace with that. But then all of a sudden, it was Sauce Gardner goes, and you're going, well, if they're getting 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, I could at least get 1 for Denzel. If they're getting 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, how much can I get for Miles? How much, you sit there and it's the thought of what you have with your own. Again, it's the same thing. Somebody gets that asking price for their house. It's like, well, I'm very happy here, but am I as happy as I thought I was here? And then you think, okay, and it's exactly like Owen said. Well, do they have a franchise quarterback that they know about? Hey, Ken, you can get that asking price. Are you sure you're going to move to a place that you just know you can move to, especially with the market? Like, you don't know that. That's what makes it intriguing.
Remember, we were talking about, well, would the Eagles give up 3 for Myles Garrett, right? But we knew those are back in.
Yes.
You don't know that Colts pick this year, it's going to be a back end pick. But next year, you have no assurance that that's going to be a back-end pick.
It could, listen, that
makes it a little crazy to me.
It could become a monumental trade. But what I'm saying is, did I need to be dialed into all the NFL insiders yesterday for Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner? The answer is no.
I did.
No, big deal.
I did.
That's a waste of everybody's time. And I'm sorry, we tried to promote the trade deadline in a big way. Adam Schefter was reporting the Browns are going to be big buyers. Womp, womp, boring.
I disagree with you, Anthony, but at the same time, when I switched over to NFL Network to find out what they were doing on the trade coverage and the trade deadline, it was a rerun of NFL AM or whatever they call it, cold pizza.
Even the NFL Network didn't treat that as a big trade deadline. They went to Mike Garafolo and some girl I've never heard of. That was in between reruns of the morning show that they have. Come on. Even the NFL's telling you, not a big deal.
That is not a good argument. That is a terrible bad faith argument.
I watched 2 Life Stews yesterday.
That is come on. That's a media problem. That's not an NFL problem.
Sauce Gardner.
They traded all their good people for Mike Garafolo and a girl I've never heard of.
Mike Garafolo. What's the matter with Mike Garafolo? All right, is Lima right? It's not better than the NBA trade deadline. I never claim that.
Well, and
I never claim that.
The NBA trade deadline might suck going forward because of the new salary structure and the new CBA.
You had teammates of guys that got traded making public announcements about how they were disappointed by it.
Sick about my brothers. Man. Well, no, that's that. I'm quoting.
No, I got what you're doing.
That's exactly.
It's funny when you said it.
Well, no, that's what he wrote. So I wanted to be specific and relaying what he wrote.
All right, did the trade deadline suck? 216-474-0092. You just sound like you're mad that the Browns didn't do anything. If you just want to be entertained instead of actually trying to do the right thing for football, then fine. But you just sound mad that the Browns didn't do anything.